Hello everyone on YouTube, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and me, I'm doing great. I just got molested by a Yoshimitsu in ranked, so always a great way to start the day. But what we're going to do today was, actually one of my viewers told me, why don't you make a video about the contest or the big poll that was done 7 years ago. And I can't believe I haven't done anything on this before, but most of you haven't played Tag 2. Well, some of you have. Between Tag 2 and Tekken 7, there was a free online game called Tekken Revolution. And that was the first game where Eliza was featured. But did you know that Eliza was actually a design that was voted for by the Tekken community? There were actually, as you can see here, originally 10 alternatives, but only a few of these became actual artworks that the community could vote on. So interestingly, you had at the top, sexy female Tekken 4 soldier, which in 2013 was alright, but today I think the name of that character and the concept is probably going to trigger some people on Twitter. So maybe it's good that that did not happen. And that we're soon going to take a look at what she looks like, and she's basically a big pair of tits. That's basically the character. Tits and ass. That's what they could call the character. Tits and ass. You'll soon see exactly what I mean. The design is just terrible. Terrible. And at second place you have Siake, Salmon, and they actually come with some form of story. The story for sexy female Tekken Force character is that she is, this is her story, I'm quoting now, a gorgeous and sexy female Tekken Force member. Good story so far. She is loyal to the Mishima Zaibatsu, regardless of who's in charge. As such, she was not a part of a rebellion started by Lars. The original concept was proposed for Tekken 5, but the clothing was too revealing. You'll soon see exactly what I'm talking about. And the concept was scrapped for fears that the rating would increase. Oh, it would be rated porn, basically. The concept surfaced again for Tekken 6, but did not make it to the final cut. There were several martial blah, blah, blah. So this is her. So as you can see, it's basically a pair of tits and an ass. And that's the character. But the thing is, you see these types of designs in a lot of fighting games. The females look like this, and I all I can do honestly is laugh at it, because to me it would be a little bit more interesting if the armor actually served some purpose. But of course, if you're a female in a fighting game, you need a huge pair of tits, a huge ass, and you have to reveal them at all times. So even if you're in a war zone with your armor, you need to remove the breastplate and the buttock plate so everyone can check out your ass and tits. For some reason, and what it leaves you with is a stripper. A stripper? This is basically a stripper cosplaying a video game character. I mean, basically, this is a stripper outfit. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I've never liked those sorts of designs. Even, you know, by Tekken standards, that's taking it a bit far. And this is female vampire, a young girl long imprisoned by the Rochefort family. So that story was already here. So this is Eliza. I'm not going to read the boring story. But as you can see, this was the artwork. To the far left there, you can see that Eliza is actually blonde. And then they seem to have quickly settled on the design we have today. But this is So only 3 characters actually have artwork out of those 10, different characters they had in mind. So again, everyone voted on all of these, and Eliza won. So it could have been sexy female Tekken 4 soldier, or Eliza, or any one of those 10 suggestions. And I remember when Eliza won the polling and was put into Tekken Revolution, I remember actually that most of the community said that we wanted her to win because she was going to become such a great cosplay outfit. Basically, everyone wanted Eliza because it would be a killer cosplay. And I've never liked this design. Again, it's a Twilight stripper. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sound cranky or like butthurt senior citizen. It's just, or old-fashioned, boring. But it's just, to me, it looks just like a stripper. It's a goth stripper. I mean, what the fuck is that? I don't know. It's like, is it only me? To me, it looks like a joke. But okay, yeah. Some people like Eliza. To me, it's just garbage. And Salmon, let's just skip that. Shin Kamiya, so that was the character from Blood Vengeance. Terrible movie. But in it, of course, you had Shin Kamiya, who had some invincibility gene where he was immortal. He couldn't die, and of course, being emo, he threw himself from buildings every day and said, standing in shadows with a cigarette, "Why can't I die? All I want is die. Life is darkness. Life is hard. No one understands me." And then he jumps from a building up, and he survives, and then he jumps from another building. And that's literally the story. It sounds like I'm exaggerating, but that's exactly his story. And of course, in the end, he takes off his shirt, and he has... Go watch the scene on YouTube. It's like... I don't think I've seen anyone ever as ripped. He has like a million veins everywhere. You can see every single muscle fiber. Super fucking enormous amounts of muscle mass, of course. I mean, as you do, of course. You can't have something interesting these days. He can't just be normal, look like an average Joe, but still be very strong. He relies on technique. No, of course not. He rips off his shirt and he looks like fucking Superman. And then we have Tugu, fellow Tekken Force, so many Tekken Force members, friend of Lars Alexandersson. Oh, that's the guy in Tekken 6, right? Scenario campaign, I think. And then we have Zombie Bride, a zombie bride to be in a wedding dress. I wonder if they gave that to Nina for a redesign in Tekken 7. The idea first came up around Tekken 3 as the first fighting zombie in a game. The idea resurfaced again for Tekken 6 as the sister of Miguel, who was killed in an airstrike and came back to life. That could be interesting, since the fighting style for a zombie would be quite difficult to create. The idea was scrapped. You could just borrow from Resident Evil, I guess. Female Paul. For some inexplicable reason, Paul is transformed into a girl. Inexplicable reason, it's called a sex change. But the appearance is of a very cute girl. Oh. The concept was thrown out in 2 seconds as it was too off the wall. Okay, so they said fuck that one. Number 8, giant praying Mantis. During development of Tekken 3, a bug caused the joints of a character to move backwards and the character model was deformed. It looked like it would be a strong fighter, so there was an idea to actually implement it, but the idea was discarded for lack of development time. Like with Siake Salmon, the insect blank data can be found with Tekken 3 arcade board is hacked. This was also found by some very hardcore fans, and video can be found on YouTube. Okay. Average run-of-the-mill old man. Average old man, like the one you find in almost any neighborhood. He's not a martial artist, so he's pretty weak. It was an idea mentioned early in the series and thrown out the instant it was mentioned. That's just a fucking joke. Number 10, Ganmi-chan. A teenage female sumo wrestler who idolizes Ganryu. The original idea was proposed for Tag 2, but was discarded 5 seconds later in order to focus on increasing the popularity of Ganryu. Mission Impossible, Bandai Namco. You gotta give it to them. They did release him for Season 3 to those 2 loyal Ganryu mains awaiting their favorite fatty. But they're not even playing him. They're too busy playing Leroy. So, yeah, about that. A character sketch was completed several years ago, and the result was of a cute character like you would find in Idolmaster. Is that one of those Japanese dating games? But again, it's pretty interesting. From what I saw, you know, this could have happened. The community actually voted on these designs, and the winner was Eliza, because she would make an awesome cosplay, according to the community. So the stripper Tekken 4 soldier did not make it. Yes. But it's like everyone creaming their pants right now in the chat looking at this. Like, okay, I understand biology, thin waist, big fun bags. You know, it's just it's the normal. But if you just take your penis aside, which I usually do when I try and evaluate character designs, what exactly is interesting about this? It's a very generic, pretty woman, which we see in all fighting games. Every single female character, very attractive. There's nothing particular about her face at all. Her hair is silver-ish. And then she has some body armor, which is basically a stripper outfit. It's a terrible design. It's a terrible design. It's just garbage. It's like when you make Eliza look a little bit interesting, you know it's not a very good design. So sexy stripper force soldier is just so incredibly bland. Eliza is a cutesy, cartoonish 8-year-old girl draws a cute vampire. That's what I think when I see Eliza, basically. It's a very young girl draws a vampire, basically. But it's too bad, and I've mentioned it before. Female characters in Tekken, most of them are just... They are the same, you know, are very bland. Huge lack of diversity. Everyone is super young. Everyone has big tits. Like, sorry. I'd love, you know, the different types of characters would be nice. But so, that was it. And pretty interesting, right? I bet a lot of you didn't know that the community was voting on a new original character. I wonder if they will ever do that again, but considering last time we voted for that, please don't ask us to vote on any more characters. That is a request from good old main man. But yeah, interesting stuff.